Okay, so here we are, and this is 3.3. So we're starting off with some surface area. Surface area will be your total area on a three-dimensional object. So if you were to, say, paint the walls of a room, that would be an example of surface area. What they've shown you here is a prism, and basically what they do is they make a net out of it, a two-dimensional net. So imagine these sides are being like folded down like a pizza box almost, and you get all these two-dimensional shapes, and if you could find the area of each shape and add it up, you would find out the surface area of this shape by adding all all 2D faces. And that's basically all this section is. There's formulas on the back of your formula sheet, and some shapes are easy, some shapes are a bit different because they have curved surfaces, so there's specific formulas for them. So let's get started on page 145, and we'll do questions starting on number 1 here. So Jim has been hired to make a jewelry box. Okay, so boxes, basically you have a rectangle, and you have another rectangle sort of laid like this, and then you connect the edges like so. And then you can put in the dimensions. So 12 inches long, 6 inches deep, and 9 inches tall. Okay, so the dimensions are 12 by 6 by 9. And it says how much, whatever this word is, to cover. So that tells you its surface area, the exterior. So basically what you need to realize is there's 6 faces, and they're all rectangles. So the surface area, remember, is the area of all faces. So we have, and I'll use different colors to help you with this. We have a front and a back rectangle. Maybe just do one at a time. So I'm just coloring in the back rectangle. So there's the back, and it is identical to the front. Okay, so basically if you could just figure out the area of that blue shape, you could just times it by 2. Okay, and the dimensions of that blue shape are 12 and 9. So area of a rectangle is length times width, so 12 times 9, and then you times it by 2. Now let's keep it organized by saying, well, this is the front and the back. Okay, and then we're going to add to it, let's do the sides. So the sides, here's, if I shade in the side like this. Okay, so the sides, if you look at the dimensions of the sides, you can see that it's 6 length and 9 up. So 6 times 9, and there's 2 of them, right? Both of the sides. Okay, so just put that in there, keep organized. And as well, we have to do the top and the bottom. So let me use a different color for the top and the bottom. So let me color in the top here. So there's the top, and if you look at the dimensions of the top, it's 12 long, and it's 6 into the page. So the dimensions of the rectangle for the top face would be 12 times 6, and there's 2 of those. So that's the top, bottom. And then all we have to do is multiply these numbers and add it all up. So 12 times 9 times 2. 6 times 9 times 2. 12 times 6 times 2. And we will add all these up. 468, and the units are inches. So the area units will be square inches. Okay, it's important to remember that for area, you have to change the unit to a square unit. Okay, next one is about building a greenhouse onto the side of a garage. So she wants it to be 6 feet long, 4 feet wide, and 3 feet high, with the 6 foot long side against the side of her garage. So what area of glass will she need to complete the greenhouse? Hint, no glass will be used along the side of the garage. Okay, so what you need to do is basically draw in the wall for the garage. So let's call this the garage. So there's the edge of the garage, sort of like, okay, so got something like that going on. And now she wants it to be 6 feet long, so, and they said that was the side, 6 foot long side against the side of her garage. And that's 3 feet high. Three feet up and down, and then 4 feet wide. So now you're gonna put it out 4 feet like this. Okay, so when you're thinking about how much glass you're going to need, okay, and you don't need any on the wall because the sunlight is not going to, you know, it's not affected by the sunlight can't get through the garage. So you don't need any glass there, but you'll need glass on the front and the back, the top, and the side. Do you think you need glass on the bottom? No, you wouldn't need glass on the bottom. So you have two sides. The top, actually, two sides is confusing. You have, let's just start from scratch here. Okay, back it up, back it up, back it up. Oh my gosh. Alright, let's start this over. So, top, for sure. This would be like the back, the front, and then the one side. So basically you have to do 4 rectangles. So let's figure out the area of all these rectangles. Okay, and let's start from the top. This is the top. The dimensions of the top would be 6 here, and this long dimension is 4. So 4 times 6. Let's do the side now. The side is 6, and the height is 3. So that's 6 times 3. And then the back and the front are the same, so let's do these together. So here's the front. It's got a length of 4 and a height of 3. So 3 times 4. And because these are the same, let's just times that by 2. Add these up. And I got 66 square feet of glass needed. Alright, now we're going to work on number 3. Also, Vicky here is tiling her shower stall. The tiles reach 8-foot ceiling on 3 sides. How many square inches of tile should she purchase to tile the walls and the floor? Okay, so 35 inch by 35 inch shower stall. That's a square. So what you have to do is draw a square, but it's like squished, okay, because it's into the page. Okay, so 35 inch by 35 inch. And it's an 8-foot ceiling, so we're gonna go like this. And here's her shower stall. Okay, so the weird thing here is that you got inch and you got feet. So let me just change the inches into feet. So 1 foot is 12 inch, 35 inch x feet, cross multiply. So 35 divided by 12. We have here basically 2.916 feet. Okay, and then it says, well, how many square inches of tiles should she purchase? Okay, so that's kind of making me second guess my work here because it's going to be in inches anyway. So let's just convert the feet into inches. That'd be a bit easier. 1 feet equals 12 inch. 8 feet x inch. Cross multiply. 8 times 12. So we have here 96 inch. Okay, so that's a bit easier. So she's going to tile 3 sides and the floor. Okay, so let's take a look at one side. Right there, that's one side. So the dimensions of one side are 96 inches, 96 inches by 35 inches. So let's get that area, length times width, 35 inches times 96 inches. I got 3,360 square inches. And we're going to times that by 3 because there's 3 sides. So that's 10,080 square inch. Plus the floor. So we're going to do the floor now. And the floor is a square. It's the same as this square. So the area of a square is side squared, which is basically just side times side. 35 inches times 35 inches, which is 1,225 square inches. Okay, so all we have to do now is add up these two areas, and that's the total area you need to tile. So if I add this and if I add this, I get 11,305 square inches. I have to tile that much. Yeah, and that's it. There's your total. Okay, so it looks like the next object is the cylinder. Okay, so now I'm working with the cylinder, and I'll just draw a cylinder over here on the side. To do that, you draw a couple ovals, a couple vertical lines, and next thing you know, you have a cylinder. So what you have is 2 circles, and then like the label piece, okay? So I'll write the formula for you. This is off the back of the sheet, back of the formula sheet, that is. 2 pi r squared plus 2 pi rh. Okay, so what we have here, here's the 2 circles. Okay, because if you think about the formula, pi r squared, that's 1 circle. So if you times by 2, okay, that's this multiplication by 2. Then over here, this is the label of the can, if you will, like the label of a soup can that wraps around. Okay, so what do we have here? H represents the height. It's 48 inches. And then we have a diameter here of 6 inches. Okay, remember, diameter is the whole way across. So if the diameter is 6 inches, the radius is half of that, 3 inches. The radius will go from there to the center. Okay, edge to center is the radius, and that's the one we use in the formulas. So 2 pi, that's on your calculator, radius squared plus 2 pi radius times height. And because all these values are in inches, our answer will be square inches. I type all this formula into a calculator, exactly how I have it written, and everything should work out nicely. Then I get 961.3 square inches. So when you get to the next question here, it says do the surface area in square feet. So what you're going to need to do is convert all measurements to feet first. So for example, I think one of them was 3 inches. You'd have to convert that to 0.25 feet. And then just do the calculation I did on the previous page with that formula, but with all your measurements in feet. Okay, so here we have a cylindrical box to hold tennis balls stacked one on top of each other. Tennis balls approximately 3¼ inches in diameter. So it says, what is the surface area of the box? Okay, so now here, let's try and draw this cylindrical box. Okay, and you gotta fit 4 tennis balls in there. So tennis balls sort of look like this. Okay, so in order to get the dimensions of the box, you have to use the dimensions of the ball. Okay, so if they're 3¼ inches, which is just 3.25 inches in diameter, that's each one of these is 3.25. So since there's 4 of them, we'll times by 4. And you get 13 inches. This is the height of the cylinder. And it will be the same going wide, 3.25 inches for the diameter. Okay, so when you go to the surface area of the box, so the surface area formula, which is 2 pi r squared plus 2 pi rh, all we have to do is adjust this diameter by dividing by 2. Okay, so there's the radius. So 2 pi, the 1.625, we have to square that, plus 2 pi 1.625 times the height. Punch all into my calculator, and I will get the surface area of the container. So the answer here is 149.3 square inches. Alright, so let's jump into number 6 now. Right away you can see this conical. So basically you're going to be drawing a cone. To draw cones, you just draw a triangle and then a curved surface underneath and then the back there. So it's a circle on the bottom and then basically like a pyramid. And it's 9 inches tall, so that's going to be that vertical height there. 9 inches tall. And has a slant height of 10.7 inches. So the slants are, like you guessed, on the slant, just like that. And it has a radius of 5.8. So 5.8 is the radius. It says, what is the surface area of the sheet metal? So for the surface area formula for the cone, if you notice on the back of the formula sheet, it says pi r squared plus pi rs. The pi r square, we already know that. That's the circle. So that's this circular bottom. Okay. And the s, or the pi rs, is the label piece. Just like the label of the cylinder, it's like the label of the cone. Okay, so pi r squared by 5.8 squared plus pi rs 5.8 s 10.7. So you'll notice that for the surface area, calculation, you don't need the slant. Or pardon me, you don't need the height. You do not need the vertical height for the surface area. In fact, what you need the vertical height for is the volume, not the surface area. So, calculating away, pi times 5.8 squared plus pi times 5.8 times 10.7, and I get, after put all that in my calculator, I got 300.65 square inch. And now that I'm looking at the question, they're asking for it in square feet. So what I should have done is convert these to feet first, and then do my calculation, and then we'll calculate it into square feet. What you can do though is do a conversion like this. We know that 12 inches is for 1 foot. So if you wanted square inches in square feet, you would have to square these like that. So what that gives you is 144, because 12 times 12, square inches for 1 square foot. 1 times 1 is 1. Now I have this unit here, 300.65 square inches, and I can cross multiply for square feet using this ratio. Okay, doing this, looks like divide by 144, and I got approximately 2 square feet. Okay, so I mean, this calculation with the star beside it can be avoided if you convert the linear measurements into feet first. Alright, so let's jump to question 7. So 2 coats of paint, that tells me surface area. And they're talking about a shed, so 8 by 6 by 7. 3 windows, what does she paint? Okay, so let's see what we got here. Draw in a rectangle. It's usually how I start these things. 8 by 7, because it's 8 feet long and 7 feet tall. Then I draw another rectangle behind it. Connect the edges. And I can put the 6 wide. And I'm just going to actually erase that 7 and put it over here so it looks better. So there's the shed, and I need to take out 3 windows. So imagine there was a window here on the side, just like that. So I wouldn't paint the window. So it's like you need to subtract that area out, basically. And they're 2 feet by 18 inches, so 2 feet by 18 inches. Now, you notice right away, 2 feet and 18 inches, that's bothersome because they're different units. So I'm just going to convert this 18 inches right away. 18 inches, I know that 12 inches gives me 1 foot, so 18 inches gives me x feet. You do some calculations there, you get 1.5 feet, and then that's a little bit of a better number than 18 inches. Now that they're all in the same units, it'll be way easier to calculate. So your window, 2 feet by 1.5 feet. Okay, so let's calculate all these rectangles. And she's just painting the walls which is kind of a vague notion. Like, do you paint the ceiling? Do you paint the floor? And I think here the answer to that question is no. You don't paint the floor and you don't paint the ceiling. So it's kind of like from the first question. We have a front and a back. So the 8 by 7 by 2. That'll cover the front and the back. 8 by 7. That's that rectangle. And then times it by 2. Now I'm going to do the sides. So the whole side would be 6 by 7, and there's 2 of them. Okay. So that's what we're going to add up. We add those. And then we have to subtract out the windows, because you're not going to paint the windows either. So the windows, in green there, 2 feet by 1.5 feet, and there's 3 of them, pardon me. Okay. And all you gotta do is figure these out. Now let's figure them out one by one. So 8 by 7 times 2, 112. 6 times 7 times 2, 84. And then I have to subtract 2 times 1.5 times 3. So that's ends up being 9. So 112 plus 84, take away 9, 187 square feet. And then it comes down to being able to remember and read what I remember what I read. 2 coats of paint, so I got to times that by 2. 2 coats of paint. So this is a tough question because of all the reading involved. So, all right, next question. A cylinder, total surface area. Alright, so this is saying it's 1 foot by 3 inches long. So when you draw this cylinder, this length is 1 foot 3 inch, and the diameter is the whole distance across the circle is 4 inch. Then it says what is the total surface area. It doesn't specify the unit, so you can pick any unit you'd like. I'll go with inches. So surface area formula for a cylinder, 2 pi r squared plus 2 pi r h. So the radius and the height, that's all we need. And it has to be in inches, I think. So this is the diameter. Divide by 2 to get the radius. Put it here and here. Now all we need is the height, which is this length. 1 foot is 12 inches plus these 3 inches, so altogether 15 inches is the height. That goes here times all these numbers. I would just write it down exactly how I see it in my calculator. You need a scientific calculator that has brackets and stuff and powers to make this work. Otherwise you have to do it all separately, and it's very annoying. Square inch. And you notice sometimes I write square inch and sometimes I write inch square. Both of them are the same and both okay. Okay, Jurg, that's a funny name. This guy's probably Swedish or something. He's finishing the sides and the bottom of a hot tub. The hot tub is okay. They got a length, width, and a depth. It has a bench going all the way around the inside that is 16 inches high and 15 inches that will not be finished. How much finishing material will Jurg need? I don't understand what they're talking about with that bench. A bench going all the way around the inside that is 16 inches high and 15 inches wide. Okay. I'm probably just skipping this question. Yeah, okay, so let's just ignore this bench part. Okay, so 6 feet 11 inches by 5 foot 6 inches by 3 feet. So right away you can see feet in inches. So what I would do is I would make this all inches. So take all your feet and times by 12. Because there's 12 inches for every foot. So this is 72 inches plus these 11 inches. That covers the first one. 60 inches plus 6 inches covers this one. And then 3 times 12 is 36 inches. Let's add all these inches up. 72 and 11. 83 inches by, this one's easy, 66 inches, and by 36 inches. So this is the length, width, and height of a box that basically will be your hot tub. And if you were to put in some surface area finishing material, how would you do this? The formula sheet says 2LW plus 2WH plus 2LH, or something like this. So basically what it means is you have your front, your back, your top, your bottom, and the two sides. And it doesn't really matter how you organize these, as long as, like say, put 83 and 66 together, and then use 83 again, but don't use 66 this time, use 36. And then see how you've used 83 twice already? Don't use 83 again, and just use the other two, 36 and 66. And that's actually a shortcut to get the surface area of a rectangular prism. So 2 times 83 times 66, 10, 9, 5, 6. 2 times 83 times 36, 5, 9, 7, 6. 2 times 36 times 66, 4, 7, 5, 2. Add all these up. Got 21,684 inches squared. Okay, we know that 12 inches is equal to 1 foot. So 12 squared inches would equal to 1 square foot. 12 squared is 144, 12 times 12. We have 21,684, so put that over here. Solve for x square feet. So solve this ratio. So 21,684 divided by 144, about 150.58 square feet. All right. All right, so here Randy's installing flooring in her den. The room is 12 feet by 19 feet. A fireplace that is 6 feet wide juts out 2 feet into the room. Also, there's 2 built-in bookcases, each 1 foot deep and 3 foot wide. She needs to order 12% more flooring than she's required because of wastage and cutting. How much will it cost if the wood costs $5.25 per square feet? So this is basically an area question. You need to find the area first of all. You need to buy 12% more than the area that you calculate, and then you have to multiply by the rate, which is 525. Okay, so let's try and do this here. So what I would draw is like a floor plan. So usually I just draw like a rectangle at an angle. That was pretty bad. Okay, that's a bit better. Okay, so it's 19 feet and 12 feet. Then it says a fireplace that is 6 feet wide juts out 2 feet into the room. So 6 feet by 2 feet is your fireplace. And it says also there's 2 built-in bookcases, each 1 foot deep and 3 feet wide. So 3 by 1, 3 by 1, 3 by 1, 3 by 1, And these are the bookcases. So I'll put a B for bookcase. And then she wants to order, so this is flooring. So basically what you're doing is you're putting flooring down in a room.
Mr. Balbar, please call the office. Mr. Balbar, call the office.
So the flooring is area, but I mean you don't need flooring where the fireplace is, and you don't need flooring where the bookcases are. So 19 times 12 is the largest area possible. That's the whole room, 228. Okay. That's if there was no fireplace and no bookcase. So let's subtract the 6 by 12 fireplace. Whoops, pardon me. 6 by 2 fireplace. 6 times 2 is 12, so subtract 228, take away 12. We're down to 216. And then the bookcases are 3 by 1, which is 3. And there's 2 of them, so times by 2. 3 times 1 times 2 is 6. So subtract 6 and you get 210. So it's 210 square feet. You need to buy 12% more. So let's times this by 12%, 0.12. So 210 times 0.12 is 25. And there's like an extra decimal there. We'll just round it off. So add that on to your original amount. 225 plus 210 is 235 square feet. This is the total area you need to buy. It's $5.25 per square foot, so times by $5.25. And basically it's like $1,234 and a few cents. So maybe I'll just actually just round that up. 1, 2, 3, 5. So $1,200 to put flooring down in this room. All right. Next is about a cone roof. Draw your cone. Triangle with a loop on the bottom. It has radius 2.2, so radius halfway on the circle. Slant height. Slants go like this. 3.5 yard. And then here's the price. So once you get the surface area, just multiply by the price. So surface area would be pi r squared plus pi rs. So 2.2 squared times pi plus pi times 2.2 times 3.5. Type all this in as you see on a calculator. Scientific, of course. Use the pi button. Don't use 3.14. You end up with 39.4 roughly square yards. Times it by the price, which is a $54.25 per square yard. The yards cancel when you're timesing. $2,137.21. Hopefully this is the last one. This has been a long unit. Yeah, it is the last one. Okay. TED wallpapering bedroom. Here's the dimensions. 10 feet by 8 feet by 9.5 feet. So that covers this. There's a door and a window. So you wouldn't wallpaper that. So the 3 feet by 7 feet. That's the door, and then a 3 foot by 4 feet window. So you need the square footage because they're talking about how many rolls of wallpaper you have to buy and the cost. Okay, so I'll grab a formula sheet here and I'll write down exactly what it says. For surface area of a prism, it says 2LW plus 2WH plus 2LH. And remember, here's your length, your width, and your height for your room. So all you gotta do is put in L is 10, W is 8, W is 8, H is 9.5, L is 10, H is 9.5. And if you look at this formula closely, you can see that each number just gets used twice. 10, 10, 9.5, 9.5, 8, 8. Okay, multiplying these numbers and adding them up. So 160 here. 152. 190. Got 502 square feet on the room. Okay, we need to subtract out the door. 3 times 7 is 21. 3 times 4 is 12. Let's just add those up. 21 and 12, 33 square feet. So I'll put this in red because this is what we have to subtract. Okay, so subtract 33 square feet because you're not wallpapering doors and windows. Alright, so my total now is down to 469 square feet. Okay, now we got to analyze this statement here. Each double roll. I don't know what a double roll is. I wish it just said each roll. Let's just do that. One roll covers 56 square feet. We have 469 square feet. So how many rolls, X rolls of wallpaper? Cross multiply. I got like 8.375 rolls. And I don't know what a double roll is. Does it mean a double roll covers twice as much, so you'd only need to buy 4 rolls? I don't know. So basically, you need 8. Like if it just said each roll covers this much, you would need 8 rolls. But you can see this decimal, you're not going to have enough if you buy 8 rolls. So I would just round up, buy 9 rolls. The 9 rolls will help you just in case you make a mistake. And then just multiply that by the cost. So 9 rolls times $29.95. $269.55 just to wallpaper a room. Alright, that's over. Enjoy the practice. Try to practice your skills here. Surface area practice.